take a sip from your water bottle. That same bottle you've been refilling all week. It looks clean, it smells fine, but right now, that bottle is holding more bacteria than the seat on your toilet. Not a little more. When scientists actually swabbed used water bottles and counted, they found some carrying over 20 million colony-forming units of bacteria. To put that in perspective, that's hundreds of thousands of times more bacteria than the average toilet seat. In some studies, a used bottle came back dirtier than a pet's food bowl, dirtier than a kitchen sink, and yes, dirtier than the seat you're afraid to sit on in a public bathroom. The thing you drink from all day is dirtier than the thing you're scared to touch. And the worst part? You're the one who put it there. Here's what's actually happening. Every time your lips touch that bottle, you're not just drinking, you're depositing. Your mouth is home to billions of bacteria. That's completely normal and mostly harmless while they stay in your mouth. But when you drink, some of them get left behind. On the rim, in the threads of the cap, on the inside walls where you can't see, and then you screw the cap back on and trap them inside. And that's the problem. You've just built the perfect home for bacteria. Think about what bacteria actually need to grow. 4 things: warmth, water, food, and time. Your bottle gives them all 4 at once. It's warm because you carry it against your body or leave it in a bag or a hot car all day. It's wet, obviously. That's the entire point of it. There's food, tiny invisible traces of backwash, saliva, and sugar from whatever you drank earlier. And it's sealed, dark, and left completely undisturbed for hours at a time. No sunlight to kill anything, no air to dry it out, nothing to wipe them away. Now compare that to a toilet. A toilet, weirdly, is a terrible place for bacteria to live. It's cold. It gets flushed with a rush of clean water constantly. It's usually out in the open, exposed to air and light. And most people actually clean it every single week. Your bottle is the exact opposite of all of that. It's not a container, it's an incubator. You've basically been carrying around a warm, sealed, food-filled bacteria farm and drinking straight out of it. And bacteria don't grow slowly. This is the part that gets people. Under the right conditions, a single bacterium can split itself in 2 in about 20 minutes. Then those 2 split into 4. 4 become 8. 8 becomes 16. This is called exponential growth, and it is brutally fast. Let's do the math. Start with just 1 bacterium in the morning. After 20 minutes, 2. After an hour, 8. After 4 hours, that 1 bacterium has become over 4,000. After 8 hours, the length of a normal day, you're looking at more than 16 million from 1. So by the time you take that casual afternoon sip, you are not drinking the same water you poured this morning. That water is gone. You're drinking a culture. So why aren't you getting sick every single day? It's a fair question, and the answer is actually kind of reassuring at first. Most of the bacteria growing in there came from your own mouth. Your body already knows them. It's lived with them your whole life. So your immune system mostly shrugs them off. But here's where it turns. That balance is fragile. The moment that bottle sits untouched for a day or 2, or you let a friend take a drink, or it's just warm outside, the mix changes. The harmless mouth bacteria get joined by the kind you really don't want. This is where things like E. coli and other gut bacteria can show up, usually from unwashed hands touching the cap and the mouthpiece. Mold starts creeping into the cap, especially around the rubber seals. And that slightly slimy film you sometimes feel when you run your finger along the inside, that is not leftover water. That has a name. It's called biofilm. And biofilm is where this goes from gross to genuinely stubborn. Biofilm is bacteria's fortress. When enough of them gather on a surface, they stop being loose individuals and start working together. They build a slippery, protective layer of slime around the whole colony, like a shield or a fortress wall. And this shield is the entire reason a quick rinse does almost nothing. Think about what happens when you rinse. Water rushes in, swirls around, and pours out. It feels clean, but that water just slides right off the top of the biofilm. The bacteria living underneath don't even get touched. They're sealed behind their own wall. So you can rinse your bottle every single day, feel responsible about it, and still be drinking from a colony that has been quietly growing and thickening for weeks. You actually already know how this works. Biofilm is the exact same thing that builds up as plaque on your teeth. It's why brushing exists. You already know from experience that swishing water around your mouth does not remove plaque. You have to physically scrub it off with a brush. Your bottle is no different. A rinse is not cleaning, it's just moving water around. And some bottles are far, far worse than others. If you want to know the single worst offender, it's the bottles with straws and flip-top lids. By a wide margin. Think about all those tiny hidden spaces, the entire inside of the straw, the little hinge on the flip cap, the crevices and grooves in the lid where it clicks shut. Those spots are nearly impossible to reach with any brush, and they never fully dry out. They stay warm, wet, and sealed between every single use, which is precisely the environment bacteria are begging for. If you've ever popped open a sports bottle or a kid's bottle and caught that sour, funky, slightly cheesy smell, listen closely, because that smell is not the bottle. It's not the plastic. That smell is them. That is the colony announcing itself. You are literally smelling the waste products of millions of bacteria. And then, usually, people just take a drink anyway. The material matters too. Plastic bottles are actually some of the worst because plastic scratches. Every little scratch on the inside is a microscopic canyon where bacteria hide and biofilm anchors itself, safe from your brush. Stainless steel and glass are harder and smoother, so they're a bit more forgiving. But make no mistake, none of them clean themselves. A steel bottle left dirty is still a farm. It's just a slightly nicer looking farm. So what actually kills it? Not a quick rinse. We've established that. Here's what actually works. You need hot water and dish soap, and you need to physically scrub every surface. Not just the body of the bottle. That's the part people always do. The real battleground is the cap and the threads, the little grooves where the lid screws on, because that is exactly where they hide and where a rinse never reaches. Use a bottle brush that can actually reach the bottom. For straws, you need a thin straw brush to get all the way through. For flip lids, take the whole thing apart, every removable piece, and scrub each one. And then the single most important step, the one almost everyone skips. Let it dry completely, upside down with the cap off so all the moisture can escape. Because here's the beautiful part. Remember those 4 things bacteria need? Warmth, water, food, and time. Take away just one of them, and the whole thing collapses. And the easiest one to take away is water. A bottle that dries out completely between uses is a bottle bacteria simply cannot grow in. Moisture is the one thing they cannot live without. A dry bottle is a safe bottle. So do that regularly. Hot soapy water, scrub the cap and threads. Take the lid apart and let it dry all the way. Do that, and your bottle stays genuinely safe to drink from. It really is that simple. But ignore it for a week. Just leave it sitting there getting refilled, and you're carrying around something dirtier than the toilet you clean, without even thinking about it. And that's the strange part when you really sit with it. It's the same water, the same bottle, but it can be 2 completely different things, a safe one and a disgusting one, separated by nothing but whether or not you bothered to scrub it. Your toilet gets cleaned every week, like clockwork, without a second thought. So here's the real question. When is the last time you actually cleaned? Really cleaned the thing you drink from every single day?